Hello, today's video we're going to have a look at EHang, see if it's the next big eVTOL vehicle or is it Vaporware, is it a scam to try and raise the stock value. Now, I want to say a big thank you to all of the comments in the last video for bringing this to my attention. On this channel we aim to give you both sides of the story, and we were basically bringing this to your attention as it's another eVTOL vehicle that we are all interested in and we're all invested in. So thank you very much for that last video. Have a watch of these two videos. Firstly, I want to explain the Vaporware and a very similar circumstance we've seen in the electric vehicle sector, where Nikola was claiming to be a rival to Tesla with electric trucks. They said they had 200 and they had to be recalled, but here's a video that explains it a bit better than I can.
The year was 2016, and the charismatic, energetic Trevor seems like he's just about to change the world. Behind him was his tool to do just that. It was a truck running on revolutionary hydrogen technology. It could save both money and the environment. This truck, called the Nikola One, was going to disrupt the $1 trillion trucking industry and would go on to make Trevor a multi-billionaire. Bosch, General Motors, and other big names all wanted to work with Trevor and his revolutionary company that would later be worth $34 billion. The only problem was that none of this was real. The vehicle behind him was simply a shell that couldn't even drive itself, and none of the technology that he talked about even existed. But this would only be the beginning of the lies. So how was everyone fooled? And how could a man look so confident about his achievements while knowing that none of what he was saying was real? From Theranos to Wirecard, the game plan is simple. Pretend that you have a revolutionary technology or business plan, gain billions in investment, and finally, fake it until you can cash out with billions. In the case of Nikola Motors, you might just end up with a $34 billion company.
So here we are. This is what Vaporware is. It's selling your business, saying that you have revolutionary technology, building up the target stock value, and then pulling the rug. Very similar to what them crypto scams were doing back in 2020, 2021. Now jumping into EHang, give a listen to this video. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows it's by Investing by Mike. Make sure if you want to watch the whole video, I'll put it in the description below.
Drone from China. EHang stock crashed a whopping 62% from $122 to $46 after a report was released. This report was released yesterday from Wolfpack Research. It starts with a brief summary of why EHang is a complete scam. Analysts from Wolfpack Research visited EHang's corporate headquarters / main manufacturing facility and found out that it was practically empty. They roamed around the facility for 20 minutes and couldn't find anyone. The facility lacked advanced manufacturing equipment, a basic assembly.
I just want to add a note for this. This video is 3 years old, so there is a possibility that in the last 3 years they've got more staff, and it's not just that security guard working hard.
Line, and the hardest worker in the company was apparently this one security guard who was sitting down on the ground behind the bushes. This is surprising given that EHang supposedly claims to be full of world-class proprietary technologies, sells drones that cost close to $300,000, and manufactures a product that could put the lives of its customers at risk if it were to be stolen, improperly operated, or tampered with. Wolfpack Research has a good track record of having exposed other China-based companies, and the fact that the facility was completely empty just seemed awfully familiar. Employees, they also couldn't find any industrial-grade manufacturing machinery, assembly line, raw material inventory, or special work zones, which are all very common in automobile or drone factories. Instead, it seemed highly likely that EHang was simply assembling pre-manufactured parts, as they found hundreds of boxes for parts that are used in EH216. They weren't able to find any raw material or production equipment, and logically thinking based on how small EHang's actual input in creating the product is, it's legally disputable as to whether the company can claim that their products are quote-unquote manufactured by EHang. Analysts then debunk a lot of claims that EHang made about their supposed quote-unquote manufacturing facility in Yanfu. The first claim was that EHang had built a new production facility in Yanfu, but this turned out to be deceiving. While there was a large facility, EHang had simply rented the facility and was in the process of retrofitting it. The second motors, those are not aerospace products. So then Wolfpack immediately went to research T-motors, a Chinese hobby-grade motor. Here comes the scary part. In the custom section, where they offer original design manufacture services, or ODM services, they found something very familiar. In case you don't know what ODM is, basically T-motor lets EHang choose the color of the motor casing and lets EHang put their logo on the parts that are designed and manufactured by T-motors. Based on this, Wolfpack Research concluded that EHang was conducting light assembly of parts they purchased from ODMs whose motors shouldn't be used to carry passengers. They also claimed that EHang created a paper company called Kunxiang in order to pump up the stock's price. 2 out of 3 addresses for the company Kunxiang were false, with one of the address being for a hotel and another being for an office located on the 13th floor when the building itself only had 11 floors. Sham contracts with Kunxiang had been fabricated to pump up revenue and make it seem like the company was growing at a rapid pace. Wolfpack Research believes that a whopping total of $33.4 million from EHang's entire revenue appears to be from sham contracts.
So now, after we've had a look at why it may be a scam, this is a video that was released 15 hours ago, and it's the first passenger flight with the EH216S in Thailand, and it also has a few reviews at the end, so make sure you stick around.
Have you rode it before? First time?
First time.
Okay.
Ready.
Very good flight pattern, very smooth and very strong.
There was a comment in the last video saying that this sort of eVTOL would not work due to the propulsion system, and one thing I did notice in this video is it looks like the vehicle just goes up and comes down. There is a shot of it driving across a town or a city, however it's literally just a very brief 20-second shot, and it's very difficult to see was it these people or not.
It's very good experience.
Yeah.
Can be the first passenger to be on the drone.
Yeah.
I think this first time in Thailand.
Quite great experience. Yeah, this is my first time with drone.
So there we have it. That's going to be both sides of the argument. Obviously, the stock price for EHang did take a major hit with this Wolfpack survey, where they came round and they done an investigation. Now, to be honest, at this moment in time, I think it's probably best if we just keep an eye on this one. It seems like there is a bit of a risk, but I must say that did seem like a proof of concept. Now, I know with the Nikola trucks, they had said that how they had got away with the first test is they had managed to roll it downhill, and that's a lot easier to do than flying an aircraft. But for the moment, I'm going to leave you there. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.